Hi guys, how are you? How you doing? And I'm gonna tell you something. This is the second video about greed. I'm probably gonna end up making 10 or 15 videos about greeds, the good greeds, bad greed, and then people will really get the message. And each video would have a story of either mine or somebody else's story, or somebody I knew, or someone's story I heard about somebody, or a story of a person who I met briefly in life, and I will share that story with you. There's always a message behind their stories, and like I said in my other videos too, we have a child within ourselves. I'm 66 years old, but I'm very curious about his stories. That's why I read about the biography of very successful people. Sometimes I end up reading biography of people who have done really well in life, but at the end of their life they destroyed everything. So there's a message there. Now in this video I'm going to talk about greed again, and this is a negative greed. Like I said in my other video, the first video, there are two greeds I see. One is a negative greed, which has a connotation of really bad feelings. That greed means cheating, deceiving people, and not paying people back, and selling a product which is not what you are advertising, and stealing money from people. That's a bad greed. And good greed is this, that which gives you energy, which means that you think about something and you think that yes, that's a good thing. I'm gonna come up with this product, and I'm gonna sell this product in the market because people need it, people want it, and then I will make money off of that product. That greed is a positive greed, and the reason it is a positive greed because you're putting efforts. Now I'm kept on saying, and I'm still saying, the greed, but don't think that greed is always negative. That's why my point is this. And the positive greeds also keeps you happy and healthy. When you make profits, there is extra blood flow in your body, extra energy it gives you. But you're not cheating people. You're providing services. You're providing, giving them product. You're helping them so they can flourish in this world. So that's a different type of greed. And I'm going to come up with examples of both greeds in my next videos, and then you would see what I mean and you can benefit from it. My goal in every video, each video, is this: to inspire people, to make sure that the people learn from my stories and learn from the stories I share, so that they would not repeat, or if they know somebody is doing bad in their life, they would stop them not to do that. And if somebody is doing good in life, then they will encourage them to be successful in their endeavor, whatever the endeavor they're trying to do, or have already in the process of doing, or have done it, to just encourage people. So there are two types of greeds. One is a negative and one is a positive greed. In the second video I'm going to talk about the bad greed, which is borrowing money from people and not paying them back. That is a bad greed, and you intentionally do that because you know that you're going to borrow. These people are going to put their trust in you, and then you are going to betray their trust and let them down. In the process, at the end, you actually let yourself down. And then who fails in this entire process? Initially, the people who lend you the money fail, and then eventually you will fail. The people who lend you the money, they know already that some of the people will not return the money to them, but partly is their fault too. If they are charging high interest rate from you, or like 10%, like 15, 20, 30, 40% rent, 39% is actually the limit, so they cannot literally charge 40%, but in different countries you can charge 150,000% as long as person is willing to pay. So that's a bad greed. If somebody is lending you money on the high interest and then people can pay them back, then the people who are lending money is a bad people. But anyhow, in this video I'm going to talk about the people who intentionally did not want to pay, even though they had a lot of money and they could pay that money back, but they did not. Now I'm going to share, this is the story, actually it happened to me. Over the years I have helped a lot of people financially, I have helped, and majority of time I have people back in India. So that it was, I would say, at least 80 to 90% time I have people back in India, but 10% time I have helped people here too. And they borrowed the money, and both places people borrowed the money and they did not pay me back. Only one person actually paid me back, and he consistently paid me back, and he's very successful. He's an extremely successful guy, but rest of the crowd, none of them actually paid me back. And so anyhow, I'm talking about a lot of money. I'm talking about truly, I'm talking about I don't know, 7 zeros. Let me put it that way, and then you can add how many 7 money I have lent to the people or I have given to the people. But anyhow, okay, let me concentrate on this story. So about 3 or 4 years ago, a gentleman in India approached me, and I have known that gentleman actually all my life. We almost grew up together, and we spent a lot of time together. Now this man is probably had right intention to pay people back, but I don't know what happened to his life and what happens to him, that he borrowed the money and he decided not to pay. And then I found out not only he did not pay my money back, but also he did not pay other people's too. He was very successful in construction business. He was doing extremely well when he was young. Now he's probably my age or maybe a few years younger than me. And so one day at the wedding, I went to India, and I met him. I saw him after a long time, and I asked him about his construction business, and he talked about his construction business, but I did not know his background at all, how much he was doing and what he was doing in the construction business. So he told me that he made an apartment unit there, or apartment complex there, or different things, and he was dressed well and had a big smile on his face. But he started telling me then his sobbing stories. He said that, well, if he invested money in this project, that project got stalled because his creditor did not, the apartment he sold to the people, they did not pay him, and also his creditor did not loan him more money so he could finish the project. So some of the projects are just sitting there. Now this guy this guy I have known him for a very long time. So he told me all this story. I listened to him, and he knew that I can help him, and he heard about that I have helped a lot of people. So he said that if first he came to me and I started talking about if I wanted to get involved in his business. I told him, look, I'm not interested in anybody's business in India, because I don't live there, and I don't invest money where I cannot monitor what's going on with my investment, so I don't invest money there. But anyhow, then he said that, well, if he has a property, that he can sell it to me, and if I want to buy that property, then it will open up a door for him for some extra money. Then he will take that money and invest in the product, which are actually just sitting idle and losing money. Then I told him again that I don't buy anything in India. I have bought properties in India, but I would not buy properties in the area I'm not comfortable, because in real estate the location is everything. And I always buy properties in South Delhi, even though I know that I have to pay extra money, I have to pay a high price for the property, but those property hold their value. So I did not get engaged in his business endeavors at all. He was somewhat disappointed. He wanted me to go for a dinner with him. I sat on his car, and I was not feeling that great, because every time I go to India, at least for the last 4 or 5 times, 2 days, the first 2 days I'm okay, and then I get sick, and then I feel horrible about it. So I was a little bit sick, so I said that I'm not going to go anywhere for dinner or anything. My stomach is not good. But then, he continued to talk about his business. I said, well, let me think about it. I'm going back to India. I'm going back to the United States soon, so let me think what I can do for you. So I came back, and then I thought about him, and I thought that, well, I'm not gonna help him with big money, just a little money. And it was decent money in India, but it's not a whole lot of money in the United States in business. So I said to myself that I'm gonna help him. So I asked one of my relatives to give him the money, and so that he can invest the money in his building and then renovate the building, and then he will have tenants, and then he can pay me back. That's what he said, that he will pay me back. And so I asked one of my relatives to lend him the money and take the money from my accounts in India, and then just let him have it for some time. And he promised me that he will give me the money, return me the money in his small payments. Now it's been about 5 years. 5 years I asked him a couple of times, and he never returned the money. And then I found out through the other people that not only he did not return my money, but he actually borrowed money from a lot of people. So he will borrow money from one person and keep some of the money for his personal expenses or whatever, and then part of the money he would give it to somebody else or try to pay him back and probably borrow more money. It's just a stupid Ponzi scheme type business, and what it actually did to him, actually trapped him into the debt, and a big debt. Now his health is not good. He's in his 60s, and all his business collapsed. So this is what happens. This is what happens with greed. If you think that you can fool people, you can cheat people, you can borrow money from people and not to pay them back. I mean, he can pay people. I mean, it's not like he's totally broke or anything, but he decided that he would not pay. And what can you do to somebody who is just basically turned his back toward his creditors? So he's the one actually who lost everything. So this is a bad greed. So if you're in a business, don't do that. Don't do that, because your creditors make you successful. Your trust, your name is in business has to be clean. As I said in my previous videos too, 99.99% people in business are good people. Whether they're small or big, they have difficulties because they don't get paychecks from anybody. They create their own paycheck. So sometimes businesses go up and down, and whether it's a small business or big business, it does not matter. But always pay people back if you want to remain in business, or if you want to be successful in business. So make sure that you don't follow the examples of these examples, negative greed I'm talking about in my videos, and then just make sure that you keep yourself clean, work hard, pay people, and you'll be successful one day, and that one day would come sooner than later. So this is my second video about the negative greed, and the second story. And but these are the bad stories, but the lesson there is a good lesson, not to do something which somebody has done and you don't want to fall in that trap. So there will be a success for you in the future if you do the right thing. Thank you very much for watching the video. Tell your friends about this video. Tell your friends about my channel, Sharma the Man. This is a trademark. This is a trademark I established in 2017 in United States. So nobody can steal this name, Sharma the Man. And make sure that you work hard. You save money. You save initially 60 to 80% of your income. Invest that income. Invest your income where your money is making money for you, which means the assets. And we will talk about the assets, where the one should invest the money, where I invested the money, and then you become successful like I have become successful. Thank you very much for watching the video. Tell your friends about my channel. Make sure that you click on like and subscribe. Thank you again. I will talk to you in another video. Have a good night.